However, the impact on the economies of countries, particularly those who could not offer stimulus packages to the private sector, continues to hamper gains in the area of poverty reduction. According to the 2009 Social Watch report, improving income distribution is a major challenge since poverty is deeper in rural areas. It further points to decreasing exports and low remittances, among others, as threats to the country's quest to meet the Millennium Development Goal of halving poverty by 2015. The report called for policies to strengthen agriculture that contributes almost 40% of the nation's GDP. Government's efforts to mitigate the impacts of the global economic crisis appear insufficient, since gains made in the area of poverty reduction seems to be eroded over the past year. Launching the 2009 Social Watch report under the theme Making Finances Work People First, Dr. Rose Mensah-Putin emphasized government spending must be supported so that majority of the poor can safeguard their livelihoods.
You could make an analysis as to how all of these things are affecting the promotion of women's rights and gender equality. And so, in a nutshell, what this report is pointing us to is a gloomy picture of the impact of the ongoing financial crisis, which is referred to as something worse than anything that has been experienced before. However, people are also doing the analysis, including Social Watch. And so this means that these very important ideas can be used as part of the decision-making process for the restructuring, both at the global, regional, and national level, in terms of making sure that we have a different kind of economic system that prioritizes human rights commitments as endorsed in 1948 with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And then we have poverty, which is a major problem experienced by marginalized groups, and which is also a global phenomenon experienced by different sections of society globally. And therefore, that is an issue that would require specific measures to address, even as we are trying to find responses to the financial crisis. Government spending is something that is often frowned upon within the context of the global economic policy making, but within the framework of the current financial crisis, I think that government spending is legitimate and it needs to be supported, because that is the only way majority of the poor can safeguard their livelihoods. We also need to find space to find solutions to the crisis and its impact on the well-being of big sections of the global population, and use the United Nations as the basis for any discussion, analysis, and policy making. There has been a tendency to use the G20, but what this report says is that the G20 is a grouping of very rich countries, very powerful countries, but it does not have the legitimacy of the UN, which really involves 192 countries, which are members of the UN, and therefore which can symbolize a consensus building space for all of us.